Welcome to the Oldest House, the logic-defying setting for Remedy Entertainment's latest game, Control. This is a building which morphs and reshapes itself on a whim, and cloaks itself out of plain sight so that only those looking for it can find it. Within, the Federal Bureau of Control hides and classifies all the paranormal activity in the world, away from the unsuspecting population. Inside its halls and chambers, there is a war being waged between the last surviving employees, led by the Bureau's director, Jesse Payne, and an interdimensional threat known as the Hiss. If the premise reminds you of TV shows like The X-Files and Fringe, it's no coincidence. Remedy Entertainment has always had a fascination with television serials, shown through their earlier games Quantum Break and Alan Wake. Control follows this trend through a heavy dose of visual inspiration from creators like David Lynch, combined with a non-linear, myth-arc storytelling structure reminiscent of J.J. Abrams. The result is a stellar narrative that lingers in your mind long after you've finished playing, leaving you satisfied yet desperate to know more. The game's environments are visually striking and do a lot of the heavy lifting for the narrative. Care has been taken into making the Oldest House seem like an ordinary office building, complete with cubicles, coffee cups, motivational posters, and clearance codes. When the Hiss arrive, however, ordinary workplaces become the arenas for psychic warfare, and our hero Jessie can fling commonplace items at enemies to supplement her gunfire from the transforming service weapon. The game's environments take inspiration from the Metroidvania genre. As Jessie learns new psychic abilities, new areas and pathways become accessible, and the Oldest House unfolds into a complex, latticed landscape.
An object of power. Looks like the Hiss have latched onto it. We need to cleanse it.
Remedy have added to their bag of tricks in order to make Control the most visually interesting release to date. The game runs on an updated version of the in-house Northlight engine, which is well suited to advanced lighting and color effects. But now office walkways turn into nightmarish combat zones at the drop of a hat. This is juxtaposed against the shiny, sterile astral plane, which is the dimension Jessie visits in order to purge supernatural objects and learn psychic skills.
The channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in the Bureau seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings? I'm not their director. I'm no one's director.
The contrast between the jagged obsidian platforms and vast white beyond creates an otherworldly tone, a jarring style compared to the otherwise fairly realistic corridors of the Oldest House. The environments have a shimmer to them, which adds to the game's atmosphere, and makes exploration one of the greatest joys this game has to offer. And then, every now and then, things get weird.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream logic. The light switch cord. The door marked with the black pyramid.
Whoa! Have we been here before? No. I've stayed at a lot of roadside motels across the country, on the road, on the run, under the radar. This feels like all of them, like something recognized from a dream.
This is one of the Ocean View Motel sequences, a small escape room which serves as the passageway between parts of the Oldest House. Set-piece moments like this make navigation of the Oldest House feel far more fragmented and unpredictable compared to your average action game. Here, you need to find a key, somehow, and use it to open the door with the Black Pyramid. It's one of the ways in which the game's map is evolving and ever-changing, opening up new passageways between familiar locations once your psychic abilities have been awakened. It's implied in the narrative that the executives in the Federal Bureau of Control use the Ocean View Motel as a kind of locked passageway to prevent lower-level workers from accessing the classified research. But it's also implied that nobody at the Federal Bureau of Control really knows what this motel is, why it exists, where it came from, where all the other doors go, how and why this takes its shape, or whether it's safe. Like all the other random supernatural phenomena at play in the oldest house, their first thought is how to exploit the properties of the paranormal for their own benefit. The surrealist elements add even more intrigue to what is already a fascinating game. Remedy Entertainment absolutely nail the pervasive, unsettling tone that has been so zealously popularized by TV shows like Twin Peaks and Lost, conjuring a story which seizes your attention and forces your full concentration. There is very little wasted time in Control. Every plot twist is a surprise, and none of your activities feel like busy work. The game takes inspiration from open world design, but there's never a lack of anticipation or urgency. Although many of its design decisions run against what we've come to expect from a traditional AAA release, players who don't hold these idiosyncrasies against Control are in for a real delight of a game.